There's so many characters with abilities in Marvel, it's hard to keep track sometimes. The character I want to go over today, Firestar, is one of the many that get swept under the rug. Raised by her single father and grandmother, Angelica Jones, they dub her Angel at times, discovered she had a mutant ability. Yeah, she's a mutant. She can convert electromagnetic energy into microwave radiation. She enrolled in the Massachusetts Academy, hoping to learn how to control her powers. But headmistress Emma Frost, the White Queen of the Hellfire Club, had other plans. She was codenamed Firestar. Angelica was secretly groomed as a potential assassin and bodyguard. When Angelica uncovered Frost's true motives, she attacked her would-be mentor and destroyed the training complex under the Massachusetts Academy, freeing herself from the dark path she was unwittingly set upon. It's explained pretty vividly right here on how all this stuff went down. It kind of tells her story too, her origin too. If you want to read all this, you can. It pretty much tells about all how that stuff with Emma Frost went down, finding out Emma Frost's devious nature. Soon after, Angelica became a founding member of the New Warriors alongside the new heroes, Speedball, blah, blah, blah. Goes through her fair share of comic adventures. That's why throughout the different comic adventures, you actually see her get new costumes or different costumes. Stuff changes, things evolve over time. You know, the classics. Firestar can absorb, discharge, and manipulate microwaves. Comparatively short waves of electromagnetic energy, she continually absorbs microwave energy from her environment, including microwave energy from the sun and other stars. When she is actively manipulating microwaves, a glowing energy aura surrounds her body and emits heat. She has to constantly control it or it will shoot out in all directions. They say there's no limit to the upper temperature her heat beams can reach. They say the only thing that can resist the max heat is like adamantium or something, which is understandable. Adamantium is pretty unbreakable. You know she got some heat when she be burning people like the Blob. Or her heat is so hot it can block bullets itself. Or just straight up heating up the ground. Imagine trying to be sadistic, trying to burn somebody just to realize that she's completely immune to heat. That's why you see characters shoot fire blast type of attacks. She kind of eats them a lot. Fire-based characters like Pyro, she can eat his attacks. Look at this scan of her heat kind of going everywhere. But let's analyze Firestar, shall we? This stuff should be self-explanatory. She can do all the stuff you would normally do when it comes to heat-based characters like cauterizing injuries, burning wounds to help save lives. She can neutralize threats by absorbing and containing energy. It's a microwave she can control. So she somehow was able to shut down a car engine. She can literally light your brain on fire. She's a nightmare against water-based beings like dehydrating characters like Namor. She got like a Haxie thing that can kind of mess him up, weaken him up, you could say. Some kind of white laser she can dissipate with microwaves. She's a bad matchup for symbiotes because some of them don't really like heat like that. Like Carnage, for example. Her energy can counteract things like the Dark Force. Some people was getting mind control. She was able to kind of scramble the mind control because of her ability. Like microwaves apparently screw up electronic systems. She can make a micropulse. And just like a whole bunch of characters, she can amp her punches with her ability. You see the aura around her fist. So yeah. Oh, if it's not obvious already, yeah, she can fly with her ability, by the way. You guys know me by now. I respect any character that trains. Yeah, Firestar does legit have training sessions. Yeah, Emma Frost ain't about to have people on her team slacking. So just like a lot of Marvel fighters, she has a decent amount of training. If we go off Marvel.com itself, when it comes to Firestar, her grid, I mean, I guess you can't take it as Bible, but some of her stuff is not too crazy. Her speed is pretty high. Her strength isn't all that physical, muscle-wise. It's a 3, but her energy is completely maxed out. Obviously, because she's an energy projector, she can manipulate microwaves and stuff, so it makes sense. But yeah, honestly, strictly talking about her muscles, she's not too crazy. Like, this could be her flight thruster power or whatever. We have seen her actually lift up beings like Colossus, who at least have to weigh 500 pounds. Colossus is more than likely the being they're talking about when they reference her lifting 500 pounds while she's flying in her handbook. They're more than likely talking about him, at least. Stated here. So I guess right here you can kind of get an idea of her physical strength. She can at least lift 500 pounds. But honestly, there's no point in lingering on her muscles too much. She's more of a blast power type character. She's very destructive when it comes to her blast. She's got maxed out energy projection. So she might not win no arm wrestling contest with the powerhouses of Marvel, but them blasts might. We've actually seen her punch beings like Crossbones, amping her fist with energy. Punch and blast Mystique. We've seen her blast and melt multiple ice sculptures in multiple different directions at the same time. Blast and damage robots. Blast away training equipment. Blast, literally melt through steel. Metal poles she melts. It's proven she can blast through walls, melting large metal doors. She can fly and ram you through concrete walls with blunt concussive force. Now, not just heat type stuff, but like just literally tackling you with force, blunt force. We see her blast through Iceman's wall. When it comes to her raw blast power, it's pretty much proven that she can blow away buildings because she messed up this entire underground complex. So there's no doubt she can blow away buildings. I mean, how do you explain situations like this where she just straight up truck stick, like straight up tackle strong beings like Colossus through like mountainous type stuff, like rocks he just getting speared through, literally. Saying she couldn't blow away buildings after seeing these kind of things, you would just be in denial. I mean, you remember that Marvel character known as Hydro Man that's made out of water? Look what she did to him. Yeah, not a good matchup for this guy. But here's the thing. I'm just getting started. Based on the hierarchy of Marvel and the beings she's constantly fighting, there's evidence to suggest that she's way above everything I've just said. There's evidence to suggest she's a legit planet buster. Like they legit said it. She could probably blow the planet apart. Like I know this is just a statement. You're probably thinking it's just a statement. Don't take it seriously. Well, I kind of have to take this statement seriously when they say stuff like this. But then when you see the feats of her battling beings that can easily destroy planets, it kind of starts adding up when you put two and two together. Like, I mean, she kind of legit knocked out Colossus. This could be like a Haxi win because it was messing up his insides, apparently. Because it's even kind of stated that Colossus could destroy this girl with a single blow, meaning there's a physical strength gap, like her durability wouldn't be able to stand up to his hits if he wanted to go full all out. But if you think that's BS, what about Herald of Galactus level beings like Terrax? We see her blasting. Like, I'm not saying Terrax is equal to Silver Surfer. You could argue Silver Surfer's above him, but like, I wouldn't say the gap is just astronomical to the point where, like, Silver Surfer's probably not one shot in Terrax, but Terrax actually believes he could end Silver Surfer's life. So it lets you know the top tier, the tier Terrax has to be in. He's a Herald tier. So Terrax can just literally cleave planets in half by just swinging his blade and stuff. Not to mention we've seen Terrax and Silver Surfer's arms lock, showing that he's not far off in strength for him to be giving him this much issues, locked in hand-to-hand combat. Beings that are easily planet busters, she's given some issues, causing them discomfort. You know, Terrax has durability similar to his high heart he can hit. He's literally struggling with her. So it lets you know that she's a powerhouse when it comes to blast power, blunt concussive power, because most of these characters are usually immune to crazy heat. And for her to even affect them, it could be her heat is on another level than what they're used to taking, or her blast, her blunt power is enough to actually affect them. Both of them. She has to hold back her might a lot because she worries about threatening the planetary atmosphere itself if she goes all out too much. So when they say stuff like Angel can probably destroy the whole planet, I'm pretty sure they're being serious. Especially when she really decides not to hold back anymore. She has to have the raw power to blow up planets because we literally see her state the words, not hold back. We see her blast Terrax, a Herald of Galactus tier being, dang near close to Silver Surfer tier being, beings that can easily go through stars like it's no big deal. Because Silver Surfer, along with Terrax, similar concept. This is not Terrax here, but like similar concept. Herald of Galactus beings can literally fly in stars heat-wise. So these kind of characters are used to a lot of heat. So how on earth does Firestar have enough raw blast power to hurt beings like Terrax, despite these beings constantly taking the heat of the sun type stuff with no big deal? This is probably blunt raw power to prove it. On top of the heat. So I shouldn't have to convince you more that she can planet shatter, but I got more. You know the super magician Agatha, a super top tier magician, Angel blasted through a magician on this tier's shield. They still can't prevent her from breaking through. We've seen her blast and make the Blob yell in pain. We literally see her have a beam struggle with Nova Frankie, like another Herald of Galactus tier being. Like her beams are literally clashing with a being that has legit flew in and just blew up a star, made it go nova. These are the kind of beings Firestar is clashing beams with. So this would kind of prove she's leagues upon leagues above earth-shattering level. She'll be, technically, if we're taking this seriously, she'll be able to blow up a star just like this character can. They're clashing beams. Yeah, this is the comic. Yeah, you can clearly see, yeah, this is her on this cover right here, and you see Firestar literally beam struggling with her. Like, that's craziness. No, I'm not exaggerating. Literally stated to be Herald of Galactus. So yeah, her beam struggling with this kind of beings is ridiculous. That awkward moment when you realize the astronomical size difference of a sun compared to the earth, and she's literally beam struggling with beings that can destroy stuff like this. Stuff like this doesn't just imply she could blow away the earth or blow away planets the size of earth, but she can easily blow away larger planets compared to the earth, like freaking Jupiter. If she can match beings that can blow away suns, blowing away a planet the size of Jupiter would technically be child's play, honestly, with her blast power battling or matching the blast of Herald tiers that always take star stuff. How else do you explain a beam struggle like this? You see? So statements like this talking about how she has to hold back her power, and the statements saying she can destroy the planet are definitely legit after seeing all this other stuff. And if you're still not convinced, other powerhouses in Marvel have their opinion about Firestar. Powerful magicians that I already brought up and already showed her blasting through Agatha's shields considers her to be one of the most powerful beings in the world. A magic user of this tier is saying this about Firestar. If you guys know anything about Marvel Earth, there's a lot of characters that live on Marvel Earth that are easily strong enough to destroy planets and stuff. And there's other magic people that have seen a lot of magical threats, like Agatha, that are really highly respecting her power. Even if it's a little exaggeratory, you gotta respect Firestar. She should easily be able to destroy planets after all these statements. The different groups she's been a part of, like the New Warriors, they consider her the mightiest of the New Warriors. Plenty of other beings have remarked on how they consider her mighty. Mystique believes she's very strong. Emma Frost has seen a lot of powerful beings, and she considers her pretty powerful. So yeah, one of the mightiest beings in the universe. Ultron even feels discomfort from her blast. Blastar, somebody that be always fighting Thor himself and giving him certain issues. We see him say, when Firestar blasts him. Pretty much anybody she blasts at her powerhouses, they scream in pain. Even if the character seems to have a history of being immune to a lot of heat, it just lets you know it's probably her heat's on another level, or she has a lot more concussive force than they expected. She made Namor yell in agony, probably because he doesn't like the heat, and she probably got pressure behind her blast too. Blasting Iron Man. Her blasts are so potent that she can open her own space warp, and we literally see her do it. Oh, what do you know? Nova Core tier beings. They can just fly into neutron stars like it's no big deal. And Firestar's blast can harm Nova. You see what I mean? Like, these are the same beings that will stand blasts that are wider than multiple solar systems and stuff, y'all. I'm talking about the blast encompasses 3 star systems. And these are the kind of beings she can blast an effect like this, beings that can shield from that kind of stuff. You see what I mean? She's not only affecting beings that can withstand sun-shattering stuff, but she's affecting beings with her blast that can withstand explosions that can wipe out a solar system, multiple solar systems, more than one star system. And the crazy thing about this is that this isn't the only time we've seen Firestar blast Nova tier beings and make them feel agony. We've seen her blast the Thing. We see her blast Onslaught. Iceman is literally Omega level. I've talked about him before. Yeah, she's literally having a beam struggle with the opposite of herself. Like, so let you know she can hang with the top tier elemental beings of Marvel without just getting curb stomped. Like, you see multiple times of her beam struggling with Iceman. You see, there's even some points where it looks like he's kind of leaning, looks like she got the advantage. And then you can argue this might be one of her best feats of all time, but apparently she set hell itself on fire. She even references on how Iceman apparently froze this place over, like hell over. If Iceman can freeze hell, then by God, Firestar can burn hell, apparently? She apparently set hell on fire and got them out of hell. Did she set the whole hell on fire? Because if she really did, that would be like setting something that's multi-dimensional on fire. Like Marvel hell is kind of massive, guys. Maybe she was saying it's a pun, she set hell on fire, or did she really? A lot to think about. The thought of setting a whole dimension or a universe-sized structure or something bigger than a universe-sized structure on fire sounds ridiculously OP. I guess one way you can look at why she can hit so hard, even if her muscles aren't all that, she can kind of like ram into you and hit you just from ramming into you, like raw speed. If somebody rams at you, even if they're not all that strong, that junk's gonna hurt just because of their weight. Like, you can kind of get an idea of how strong she is. Or this stuff I've showed you could be part of the reason why she can hit so hard is because she can ram into you. Like how she outran an explosion because of her speed. Remember the space warp stuff I brought up earlier? Yeah, it's because of this stuff. This allows her to fly through space really quick, making a portal basically. She can use her flight in maneuverable ways, like via reflexes and stuff, because she does have training. We see her avoid missiles, close range sonic blasts, and there's certain opponents she would just outright avoid because of her speed, maneuverability. You see plenty of occasions of her using her flight speed to dodge. We see her keep pace with other beings that can fly decently fast. You can say she's like, when it comes to reflexes, you could argue she has lightning-like reflexes, like she's reacting to electric type stuff. Like, this is something Marvel characters always do. This is not really an outlier, really. She's battling people that can shoot electric type stuff at her. Her reflexes can react to that stuff and put her energy up in time. There's beings we literally see them, like, literally flying towards her blitz style, and we see her react to them in time. Fast enough to react and shoot down missiles while they're mid-flight. Burns arrows before they have a chance to hit this guy's face. And before the bullets can even reach her, she can melt them. This is a reaction feat. They even emphasize it, that it's a reaction feat. Because during her training sessions, it's literally talked about how she must hone her reflexes. So yeah, they did literally have combat speed type training. That could explain why she's able to sidestep lasers and stuff, you know, lasers of light speed and stuff. So it's pretty obvious her reflexes are way faster than normal humans, way faster than supersonic levels and stuff, because she's literally being trained by dodging lasers and stuff. Literal combat speed type training. So she can quite literally react to light speed stuff. She's got one of those abilities where heat can hurt you if you don't have a resistance to it. It's one of those things where you can literally be strong to her in muscle, but if you're not immune to heat, she's a threat to you. You see what I mean? And don't make her mad. But anyway, guys, she doesn't have the most comic appearances, but do you have a newfound respect for Firestar? I hope you do. Hope you learned something new. But before I get going, like, share, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications. I appreciate the donations, everybody. Respect her. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.